Hello and welcome to Coach's Corner, your inside track to different high school programs throughout the city of Marlboro. I'm your host, Matt Bisaccio, and today we're lucky enough to be joined by AMSA girls soccer coach, Okaroh. Coach, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, Matt.
Nice meeting you too. Now, in our first interviews, usually with coaches, we like to get to know them a little bit, kind of find out about their history, childhood, and how they kind of came up with sports. Okay. So why don't you talk to me a little bit about you as a kid and what kind of sports you played other than soccer?
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Nigeria, and basically in Nigeria it's all about soccer. But I was lucky enough that we had a kind of competition in our high school. We call it inter-house sports. I went to a boarding school, so it's each house. It's a sports for the whole school, but each house plays each house. So that's how I got into athletics. I was actually doing a 400-meter run before. I did high jump. I did a shot put, I did a discus, so I was very athletic. But as I started growing up, nobody could take me away from the soccer, so I concentrated more on soccer.
What about soccer kind of drew you to it? What did you like more about that than the other sports that you were playing?
I think it was probably the fact that I think soccer is mostly about intellectual. How brilliant, how can you maneuver the other side? Because when it comes to running, pretty much everybody can run. People can kick the ball, but there's that stuff that you feel like you can manipulate the other side to get around them. So just doing that, being able to do that, using more of your brain. Like I said, I love that.
That's great. So you kind of liked it more because of more of a thinking man's game.
It's a thinking man's game.
But I'm sure that the other intramural sports that you played, like the running and the discus throw, I'm sure those other things helped you when it came to soccer.
It sure did, because believe it or not, growing up, I didn't like to run, but I realized very quickly that soccer has to be my thing. So I gave more effort in the runnings, in the 400, the 200. I was more of a distance runner. It had to do with the position I played on the field. So I concentrated more on doing the distance running to build my endurance for soccer. So it did help.
Yeah, and I'm sure. But you said you were from Nigeria, where in soccer is, or football is like the biggest sport around there. I'm sure it was very, very competitive.
Oh yes, There is plenty and 2001 Ben Okarohs all over the place. Yes, it was very competitive, and but talent is always going to get you over the hump. And then after that talent, you have to bring something else. But talent-wise, some of the coaches I played under, they saw it and they encouraged me. And due to the fact that we have all kinds of age grade competitions, so it was easy to transition to where I ended up.
Looking back on your youth and coming up with soccer, was there one coach that had more of an influence on you in the rest of your life than any of the others?
Yes, it was when I was playing back home, we had two Brazilian coaches. It was one of them was Denilson, and one of them was Roberto Diaz. He's passed now, but our team employed them, so we brought them from Brazil to Nigeria, and they definitely had a big impact on us. Yes.
What made you want to become a coach?
It took a while, because when I came back from Europe after playing, believe it or not, I didn't want anything to do with the game. I was just tired. I'm that kind of person that likes to prove to myself that I can do something else besides what I'm doing. So when I moved back from Belgium, and I decided to go into business. While I was doing business for almost 14 years in Los Angeles, and I was playing for a semi-professional team. So there was that push that, having that talent and having acquired so much knowledge, it was only good to come and give it back to somebody else. So that's what brought me to coaching, just to make sure I pass that knowledge to the next generation that wants to play.
How do you feel as though that your semi-pro career may have influenced you in being a coach now too?
I think you turned that right, because when I watch some of these teams that I coach around here, it's so funny because when you get them, the first day you get them to the last day you get them, you see so much improvement. It's so much joy to watch.
What type of coach would you say, or what kind of style coach are you?
It's it's an evolution. Everybody tries to pick something from here and here, but mostly the teams I coach, we like to play more with the ball. So I probably say more of my philosophy is ball possession, but at the same time, I got to make sure that my team is very fit. It's not just ball possession is the toughest thing to play, because if you're not in good condition, you can't move around to play that. So I'm more of I like my team to do more with the ball. It goes back to what I growing up, that it's more of your sense than just your physical power.
Now, I would imagine that growing up and playing where you did and playing semi-pro, that you were around men most of the time.
Yes.
I see now that you coach girls.
Yes.
Is it different or more difficult for you to coach girls than it would have been had you been coaching boys?
I'm blessed because in our club, the FC Blazers, I coach the boys, and the first time coaching the girls for me was when I coached Francis Parker, and it was so different. And I don't think I want to coach the boys no more. It's so more fun to coach the girls because it's a big difference. For the boys, when you showing them a drill, it probably takes like 10, 15 times for them to get it. But these girls, when I show them a drill, maybe twice, they get it right away.
So they have the ability to follow instruction and listen a little bit more than guys?
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
Oh, yes, big time. So it's fun.
Speaking of the team that you have this year, are there any of the girls that are standouts that you feel as though may have a very good season?
Yes, one of my co-captains, Maddy Bremen, I've had her for, this is the third year now. I had her since she was a sophomore. And she works harder than everybody else, and she scores more than everybody else, and she really plays for the team. Yeah, so I'm expecting her to have a big year like she did last year. Last year she led our team in scoring, so I'm expecting the same thing again.
That's great. Well, good luck to you and your girls this year. We look forward to seeing what you guys are able to accomplish as the year goes on.
Thank you very much. Hopefully we have a repeat of last year's success. We did well last year, but we're looking to go beyond that this year. So, yes.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Coach's Corner. You can find this and other episodes on our video on demand portion of our website at WMCT-TV.com. For WMCT Sports, I'm Matt Bisaccia.